What's going, wait a minute. What is she doing back there? What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be about compost. So recently I've been getting into enriching the soil that we already had for our garden, mulching, composting worms, and another thing is saving all of our eggshells, crushing them up, washing them, crushing them up after they dry out, and using those as compost also. So come along with me. We're going to be going to Suburban Lawn and Garden, and then I'll show you guys more and more cool stuff that we're doing and what I got planned for later on. So we went to Suburban. They didn't really have very much, so I thought it was gonna be pointless to try to film. They didn't have a lot of the plants ready out. I'm super eager, so I went way too early. But I am dealing with the garden beds, and I wanna show you guys an update on that. So here's some of our garden beds. I built these. I used railroad ties and some spare wood that I had laying around, and made these three. We're gonna have two more sectioned off, one right here and one right here. Hey, Rocky. And then this one's gonna be full of cucumbers. So what we did is, last year, if you guys remember in some of our old videos, we had the cucumbers right in there, and they were spilling over and going up the chicken coop, which was cool and all. But we're gonna have, we want way more cucumbers, and we read that the better the trellis is, the better the yield would be. So we're gonna put caging all around here, and it's gonna just crawl up and have a whole bunch more. So this is what I did. I just got some pipe fittings and hammered them into the ground deep enough and leveled it, and that's how it looks so far. So we had this left over from the chicken coop that we made. So we're gonna cut this up and then fit it into here flat. All right, so we're just putting these zip ties around. I don't have any metal wiring, but these will do just fine. And they'll be covered up by the cucumbers regardless, and they were free. So this is how this is gonna work. So we're making two small beds in this section, and I'm just gonna do that now. We already got complete with this, so it looks good. Now we're doing this. Easy as that. We got some topsoil. Cost me 20 bucks to get the back of my truck filled with some topsoil. We'll mix it in with some compost, our own compost, and just because we don't have a lot and I made a lot of different beds, we'll probably buy a couple of bags of compost for about $2 maybe at Menards. So my partner Rocky will help me out, put it in here, and move it on over. So what this is, we're gonna put these buckets in the middle of the garden bed, and then they're gonna have all these holes in it. And I've ordered about 250 composting worms. So I'm gonna put the worms inside of the bucket. That's gonna be full of bananas, dirt, newspapers, like ripped up shredded newspapers, and also apple core, basically anything that can be composted that can be good for the soil. So I'm drilling all these holes, and then I'll show you the finishing touch after I put all the soil in and bury these inside the garden bed. So I went to Menards, of course, got some Pro Mix, some compost. Already had the topsoil from earlier today, and got some fencing post because I'm gonna build a fence with this and those black panels right there around that fence to protect it from any squirrels, rabbits, animals, stuff like that. For messing with we used this stuff last year and it helped the garden tremendously. I don't recommend always getting it. This will probably be the last year I get it because I'm gonna make my own compost and try to keep my soil really like fresh and airy, everything like that. So, but this is definitely good if you're starting off a new garden. So yesterday I ran out of sunlight, so I wanted to show you guys the finishing touches that I did. I added some compost, some browns and greens into the compost buckets. I also, what you want to make sure you do is when you're adding these, you cut the hole out of the bottom and then you drill holes. This one's not complete, and this is going to go into our original garden. But then you bury them. But like I said, I added my browns and my greens in there, some dirt, some browns and greens in there. And then what I'll do is I'll add worms into that. The worms should come tomorrow. I'm not sure if you can see me because of the sun, but the worms should come tomorrow. And then I'll add them into those buckets and then let the composting process begin. So I want to say thank you guys for watching, taking the time out of your day to watch this. Hopefully you guys learned something. So please like and subscribe and share this video if you could. Thank you guys.